"You're too small to be my bodyguard, human." That's what she said before. The first time she saw me, I was crouched behind a stack of crates, trying not to look like I was sweating through my shirt. My heart thumped in a rhythm that threatened to betray my presence, and my hands, slick with nerves, gripped the edge of my taser a little too tightly. She was tall, impossibly tall, with shoulders that seemed carved from iron and hair the color of midnight. Her boots clicked against the metal floor of the docking bay as she approached, scanning every shadow like a predator tracking its prey. She stopped in front of me, eyes narrowing. "You're too small to be my bodyguard, human," she said, her voice sharp, laced with amusement. "Seriously, look at you. You couldn't even lift one of those crates if your life depended on it." I swallowed hard, straightening my back as much as my scrawny frame would allow. "Maybe I'm underestimated," I muttered, hoping for a shred of credibility. She laughed, a low, dangerous sound. "Underestimated is one word. Pathetic is another. Either way, you're staying with me." And just like that, my life changed. The mission was simple, at least on paper. Escort her through the black market sectors of Zephyria Station, keep her alive, and, most importantly, don't get myself killed in the process. Simple, right? Except that simple rarely described the chaos of Zephyria. Neon lights flickered overhead, casting jagged shadows along the narrow corridors. The smell of burnt circuits and fried synth meat filled the air. Every corner could hide a pickpocket, a gunman, or worse, a cybernetic assassin. She moved with the precision of a predator, scanning every angle, checking every doorway. I followed, trying not to be a burden, my small stature making it hard to keep up with her long strides. "Don't slow me down," she said once without turning. Her eyes were focused ahead, but her tone carried the kind of warning that made me flinch. I won't," I said, barely audible. Hours passed, and danger found us faster than I expected. A gang of cyborg thugs cornered us near the old supply tunnels. They cracked their knuckles and grinned, the red glow of their ocular implants painting their faces like sinister masks. "Stand back, human," she said, drawing twin energy blades with a hiss. The sound made my stomach churn, but I forced myself to stay composed. I could at least try to be useful. The first thug lunged at her. She spun, blades flashing like streaks of liquid silver. Sparks flew, metal screamed, and the thug collapsed before he even realized what hit him. The second charged, swinging a chain embedded with nanoshards. I barely had time to dodge, and then my taser found its mark in the thug's thigh. He screamed, collapsing to the floor, clutching the smoking wound. She glanced at me mid-battle, one eyebrow raised. "Not bad," she said, smirking as she kicked a third assailant into the wall. I wanted to believe she meant it as praise, but the slight roll of her eyes suggested otherwise. Later, when we were safely tucked in a shadowed alcove, she finally spoke. "Why did you even take this job?" she asked, her tone softer now, though still carrying the edge of curiosity. "I needed the credits," I admitted, staring at the floor. "And maybe I wanted to prove I could survive." She studied me for a long moment, then leaned against the wall. "You're reckless," she said, almost like an observation, not an accusation. "You could have died back there." "I know," I said quietly. "But I didn't. Not yet." She gave a short laugh, almost fond. "You have guts. I'll give you that. But guts don't always save lives." Our journey continued through the station's underbelly, each step bringing more peril. At one point, a rival bodyguard guild ambushed us with stun nets and gravity mines. She moved like liquid steel, deflecting attacks, disarming enemies before they even realized what had happened. I tried to keep up, using my small size to slip through gaps, distracting enemies with quick strikes or tripping them when I could. And slowly, painfully, she began to acknowledge me as something more than an annoyance. Partner. By the time we reached the final checkpoint, the docking bay leading to the smuggler's shuttle, I was bleeding from a dozen scratches, my arms aching but alive. She looked at me, head tilted, expression unreadable. "You're alive," she said simply. No smirk this time. No sarcastic edge. Just a recognition. "I told you," I muttered, trying to catch my breath. "Underestimated." Her lips quirked in a ghost of a smile. "Maybe. But don't let it go to your head." The final test came in the form of the station's notorious crime lord, Varkis. He expected her to arrive alone, confident that her bodyguard was nothing more than a frail human joke. But she didn't arrive alone. Varkis's guards opened fire as soon as we stepped onto the platform. She went straight into combat, blades whirling, while I dodged and deflected as best I could. Then, when Varkis made his move toward her, I lunged, tackling him off balance and sending him sprawling into a railing. He cursed, spinning to regain his footing, but I was faster this time. A precise jab with my taser sent him slumping unconscious, his guards hesitating at the sight. She turned, breathless, blades still humming. "You saved me." "I did what I had to," I said, my chest heaving. She shook her head, this time with genuine disbelief and perhaps a little respect. "You're too small to be my bodyguard, human. But maybe size isn't everything." And in that moment, standing side by side amidst the chaos, I realized that she had been wrong. Not about me being too small, no, I was still scrawny, but about what really mattered. Courage, loyalty, and the willingness to fight when everyone else counted you out. That could make even a small human a formidable bodyguard. She offered me a rare, fleeting smile, and for the first time, I felt like I belonged in her world. Small. Maybe. Insignificant. Never again. The final test came in the form of the station's notorious crime lord, Varkis. He expected her to arrive alone, confident her bodyguard was a frail, human joke. But we stepped onto the platform together, side by side. Varkis's guards opened fire immediately. She moved like liquid steel, blades flashing, deflecting attacks with deadly precision. I darted between them, using my small frame to my advantage, tripping guards and striking with a taser whenever I could. Then Varkis lunged at her. Without thinking, I tackled him, sending him sprawling against a railing. He cursed, trying to regain his footing, but I jabbed my taser and he slumped unconscious. The remaining guards froze, unsure how to respond. She spun toward me, blades humming, eyes wide. "You saved me." "I did what I had to," I panted, heart hammering. For a long moment she said nothing, just studied me. Then a rare smile curved her lips, the first genuine one I had ever seen from her. "You're too small to be my bodyguard, human. But maybe size isn't everything," she admitted, shaking her head in disbelief. Amidst the chaos, I realized she had been wrong. Not about me being small, but about what mattered most. Courage, loyalty, and the willingness to fight when everyone counts you out. That made a small human formidable. We walked off the platform together, battered but victorious, side by side. For the first time, I felt I belonged in her world. Small. Perhaps. Insignificant. Never again.